So before I start, Murder Mystery 2 is not a dead game. It is literally in the top 10 most active games right now, so if you call that bad, you have much more games to be worrying about. But I will say that the game does not have as much spotlight as it used to. It was once the #1 game on Roblox, but nowadays it is overshadowed by so many games on the platform. Murder Mystery has been on Roblox in 2014, so it was bound to die down eventually, but recently this has been a big topic for the MM2 community, so it felt fair to break down an analysis on the rise and eventual fall, as well as why this game did so well and what the staff team is missing out on to this day. I should probably start off by saying Murder Mystery 2 was not Nicholas's first game he made. I mean, the name of the game literally implies that, but besides Murder Mystery, he's made games like Crazy Obstacles, Hangout, just hang out. And his most successful game at the time, Trucking Tycoon, which you had to cut logs and make buildings pretty much. This might be the inspiration of Lumber Tycoon, but I don't really know. Eventually, Nick did end up making Murder Mystery 1, which instantly became the top game on Roblox with over 5,000 players, which was huge in 2014 Roblox standards. I didn't play the game during this time period, but what I've heard, Nicholas did actually make frequent updates to MM1, as he stated the game was unfinished when it first became popular. Like, they added more maps, weapon skins, and that wasn't a thing at launch, and even a 4th of July event, I guess you could call it. Later on, a game called The Mad Murder was released, which was just Murder Mystery, but better. The game ended up becoming more popular than MM1, not to mention Twisted Murder releasing shortly after, so it wasn't looking too good for our favorite game here. Here's what the stats looked like for MM1 when the game was around. It's very scuffed since it's from 8 years ago, but you can see a big decline later in the year, until a rise started at the end of the year, when Nicholas ended up releasing the sequel to Roblox Murder Mystery. Yeah, duh, it's Murder Mystery 2. What else would it be? So yeah, MM2 released and it instantly became one of the top games on Roblox again. Not #1 like MM1 did, but it was in the top 10. Not so different from nowadays, huh? When MM2 first released, Nicholas released a ton of updates. He added many code knives, new boxes, crafting recipes, new maps, bundles, and many more. Though after a couple months, I guess Nicholas got tired of updating frequently. The Elite Game Pass was released in April 22nd of 2015, but there wasn't an actual update to the game in months. It ended up becoming a huge issue, not because players wanted more content during this dry period, but there was a major hacking issue on Roblox, and it was up to the developers of the game to patch these exploits. Nicholas did not do this, so in like every server there were exploiters. Hackers were much worse than they are now though. Nowadays they just fly around, not worse, they can kill people. But back then they made the game literally impossible to play. They could alter the script to make the game not load, and they could add literally anything they onto the server. There were people that were literally putting 18+ images all over the game. It wasn't great. This affected the player base significantly. The game used to get thousands of players a day, but then it would get like up to 20. There were times where the game legit had 0 active players. Yeah, I think MM2 is dying now. This is what a dying game looked like. The game had less of community at this time than my channel does nowadays, which I don't really think is fair. So if you could please subscribe to help me release more of this content, it would help out a lot. As we know, Nicholas always comes back during Halloween, and it isn't any different back then. On October 11th, he released a huge update to the game that also patched all the exploits. People started to play the game again, and it shortly became one of the top games once again. A couple things were added shortly after, like a chroma box, a casual mode, radio, but what was to happen later in 2016 changed Murder Mystery 2 forever. So for those who don't know, 2016 was when Roblox started to become big on YouTube. Seeing how so many Roblox YouTubers were born, this is very important here because many of those Roblox YouTubers ended up trying out Murder Mystery 2. Ones that come to mind are the Pals, the Crew, JD, and even Zachary Zaxor. All of these YouTubers made tons of Murder Mystery 2 content, and most big Roblox YouTubers did only MM2 content. This Murder Mystery 2 content ended up becoming the most popular Roblox videos on YouTube. As you could see, videos hit millions and millions of views back then, which was very seen for Roblox content on YouTube. This helped Murder Mystery 2 gain a massive popularity spike, and it was now performing way better than MM1 ever did. It was now getting tens of thousands of active players, which only a few Roblox games were achieving in 2016. MM2 became the most visited game on Roblox, and was the first game to ever reach 500 million visits on Roblox. This is what I consider Murder Mystery 2's peak. Even though 10K 2K players is rookie numbers nowadays. Remember that Roblox is constantly getting more popular, so having 10K players in 2017 can easily be compared to having over 100K players in 2022. MM2 was never this demanded in the YouTube community and even the Roblox community before. But as every game's fate, when a game gets big, it will eventually fall. Murder Mystery 2 got passed by Meep City for having the most visits 6 months after MM2 became the biggest game, and some more games ended up passing it too in the coming years. As MM2 ends up getting overshadowed by other games, most of the YouTubers that played this game started to branch out to more content and was finding more success playing other games on Roblox. This also started to be the time where Murder Mystery really slowed down on the updates. We got some maps in 2017, and in my opinion, the most forgettable Halloween and Christmas updates. And 2018 had the biggest drought of content the game had ever seen. We didn't get a single update in this year until October when we got the next Halloween update, as well as Bank 2 and R15 support. I do have to remind you guys that Murder Mystery 2 never really did die at this point, or any point in the future. It may have had a slight decrease in players, but that is about it. The big thing is that the demand for the game has significantly dropped. We had crazy things going on in Roblox in 2018 like Jailbreak, Adopt Me, Robloxian High School, Pet Simulator, and all of the other simulators, and even some of Roblox's biggest events to date, like Ready Player One and The Great Yolk Tales. But with all this demand Roblox had, what did Nicholas do to fuel the fire? Nothing. Fortunately, something big was on the horizon for Murder Mystery 2. Season 1 did end up releasing in 2019, and it was the biggest update MM2 has ever had. Revamped UI, Mystery Box 1, mobile trading, new maps, more coins, new crafting recipes, chromas, and so much more was added here. There were also a few good updates in 2020 as well, with the addition of Mystery Box 2, Research Facility, 1v1 mode and VIP service, and even new powers, which we haven't seen since the creation of powers in 2016. The hype for the game was finally back for a brief moment of time. Unfortunately, these were the last big updates to ever release in the game. After this, we got a bunch of shop godlies, another Halloween and Christmas update, which, might I add, the holiday updates are getting a little bit stale at this point. Every time just, oh, get candies or snow tokens and you'll get a cool holiday item, but if you grind enough, you'll get a godly. For 7 years straight, it's getting tiring. Thankfully, Nicholas agreed and released Scary Mode for Halloween 2020, which is nothing we've ever seen in MM2, but everyone hated it. It was too similar to Piggy in people's eyes, which was pretty big at the time, so Nicholas never did anything like this again. Yeah, you hear that? This is why Nicholas did the same thing for Halloween and Christmas every year, because every time he tried something new, you guys bashed on him for it. Next year, we got a new evolution system for Halloween, which is kind of cool, I guess, but we need something cool that's a permanent addition to the game. Stop giving all the cool stuff to Halloween already. They're not even doing anything cool for Christmas anymore. It's just the same thing every year. The only thing that's happened recently are the 2 MM2 Nerf guns, which are cool, don't get me wrong, but it's not really anything jaw-dropping, you know? And that brings us to today, in May of 2022. You can still buy items from the Christmas update. I guess Nicholas forgot about that. It's been over 2 years since the last big update. I didn't mention this, but last year we had a shop golly that was meant to be for April only. It lasted until August, which was kind of weird. There's a couple more times where Nicholas just forgets to remove limited time items too. Even though things don't look too good for the game right now, MM2 is still one of the most active games on Roblox, which is great to hear, don't get me wrong, but it might not last this way forever if something isn't done to the game. And Murder Mystery 2 would definitely be way more respected in the Roblox community if Nicholas actually did something cool. So what should Nicholas actually do to the game? It's the big question. I mean, it's kind of obvious, he just needs to update the game. But I'm not talking about shop godlies or repetitive holiday updates either. We need something actually big, new, interesting. About 2 months ago, the weapon designer I don't have it used did tease a big update coming soon, which is great. We just haven't heard anything about it since. Hey, if updates take months to create, I understand that, but come on guys, you have to at least tell us what's going on with the game. Don't leave us hanging, you know? MM2 is probably the only top game on Roblox that does not have consistent update schedules, which is cool how the game can manage that. But imagine how big the game would be with more big content updates. Like the game could literally become the #1 game again if Nicholas did it correctly. If Shop Godlies can make the game hit 100k active players, I wouldn't doubt that couldn't happen. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think should happen to the game. Will Nicholas ever release something great in the game and maybe even have more of a consistent update schedule? Or will we just have nothing but Shop Godlies and holiday updates for the rest of the game's lifespan? Maybe a small content update every couple of years, who knows? That's about it to this video. Since you made it to the end, you might as well check out some of my other YouTube content since I post Murder Mystery 2 related stuff all the time. And I might even do some other stuff on other Roblox games soon. But that's all I have to say. Yeah, see ya.